This season has truly been amazing for the Philadelphia 76ers because they were coming off a very disappointing year where in the 2019-2020 season they only finished as the 6th seed in the conference when there was many people who thought they could be at worst a top 3 seed in the conference. But this year they've been the best team in the Eastern Conference in the regular season, and Joel Embiid is having one of the best seasons of his career as he's a top 3 MVP candidate, and Ben Simmons is playing amazing as he's a top 3 candidate for the Defensive Player of the Year. And in my opinion, I honestly believe that the Philadelphia 76ers need to win the championship this season. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you why. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video, start a conversation with me as I do respond to all of my comments. And play that intro. The first reason why I believe the Philadelphia 76ers need to win the championship is the fact that Joel Embiid has been playing the best basketball of his life. This is clearly his best year of his career so far, as he's a legitimate candidate to win the MVP, whereas before he was a top 10 to 15 player in the league. This season he's been a legitimate top 10 player in the league. And I'm not saying this is a fluke season because Embiid has been great for multiple years now. But what I am saying is that I don't know if he'll ever play this amazing. I still think he'll be a superstar in the future, but we don't know if he'll ever play this great. Because this season he's averaging 28 points and 10 rebounds, now shooting 51% from the field and shooting 37% from 3. Truly dominant stats. And I feel like in a season where Embiid is playing this great and he's currently healthy going into the postseason right now, you have to capitalize on a year like this because we don't know what the future holds. He said that he was going to try and bring a championship to Philly, and this is the year to do it. At this current moment, Embiid is looking like a player who is capable of outplaying any player in the Eastern Conference. I could legitimately see him outplaying Giannis. I could legitimately see him outplaying Jimmy Butler, of course, and I don't think it's too crazy to think that he could outplay Kevin Durant or James Harden if they verse the Nets, because the Nets have absolutely no answer for him, whereas the 76ers do have some guys who could go and guard them at a good level. I just believe with the way he's been playing, if you were to win a championship in your time off this court, it would be this season with the way Embiid's been playing. The second reason I believe the Philadelphia 76ers need to win the championship this season is the fact that straight up, Philadelphia has had their best season this year, as this is their best record ever since Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons got together. And outside of their team in 2018 and 2019, I honestly think this is their best roster and their best chance at winning the championship. And this is because, as I said, Embiid is having the best career of his life. And it's not just Embiid, it's guys like Ben Simmons who's having the best season of his career, as his offensive numbers might be a bit down, but on the defensive side of the floor, he's been a legitimate top 3 defender in the league this season, and I feel like that would make him have his best season, because his impact has been so much greater than prior years, and in the postseason, it will matter significantly more. Even though there will be times where he's not scoring the ball, he could legitimately lock up the other team's best player at an elite level, or at least do a good job as anyone else. They also have Tobias Harris, who's having the best season of his career as well, as he should have made the All-Star team in my opinion, and he's been putting up 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting a ridiculous 51% from the field and 39% from 3. Truly a fantastic year for him. They also have guys like Seth Curry and Danny Green who can space the floor at a great level. Shake Milton has been excellent for them off the bench, and Dwight Howard has been amazing as a backup center, especially on the defensive side of the floor. So if this team can't win the championship this year with the way everyone on their team is playing great and living up to expectations, I question whether or not they can ever win a championship in the future. The third reason I believe the Philadelphia 76ers need to win the championship this season is the fact that, as we all know, Philadelphia is the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And in my opinion, there are only 4 contenders in the Eastern Conference, and those teams are the Brooklyn Nets, Milwaukee Bucks, Miami Heat, and the Philadelphia 76ers. And the thing that's a huge positive is the fact that Philadelphia literally doesn't have to face any of the contenders until they would reach the Eastern Conference Finals. So to me, there's absolutely no excuse for the 76ers to not at least make the Eastern Conference Finals. And this is a huge advantage since on their way to the conference finals, they won't really be facing any real adversity. So all they would need to do is play how they should and beat teams like the Washington Wizards, Atlanta Hawks, or New York Knicks. And I honestly think they can make the NBA Finals for the first time since Allen Iverson was there. The reason this is a big deal is because although I think Philadelphia could probably have another season like this where they're the number one seed, first of all, it's not guaranteed that they will ever be the number one seed again. And second of all, it's definitely not guaranteed that they will have such an easy, wide open Eastern Conference path to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have a somewhat easy path to go to the finals out of all the contenders in the NBA. I actually think they have the easiest path. And that's a big reason to why I think they should actually win the championship this year, because it's not like they're in the Bucks situation where they have to be the championship contender every single round. I don't think they would be legitimately able to make the NBA Finals if they were in the Bucks position, but the 76ers definitely have advantage, and I believe they have to capitalize on it this season. The fourth reason I believe the Philadelphia 76ers need to win the championship this season is also the fact that, as I said, on their way to the conference finals, they don't have to face any real contenders, as they will be facing Washington in the first round or either New York or Atlanta in the second round. And those teams simply are not legitimate title contenders. But in the upcoming years, I honestly expect to see a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference on the come up and start to look like legitimate NBA championship contenders. And I expect the teams that are contenders right now to stay contenders. It seems like the Atlanta Hawks and New York Knicks will be better in the future because Atlanta has a bunch of young players, and I think over time they will slowly develop and they will just get better as a team in general. And New York has a lot of cap space this upcoming offseason, and I can see them getting free agents since they haven't been a disastrous franchise this year, and they've actually looked like a competent one. And the Milwaukee Bucks have Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday signed for the future, so those guys aren't going anywhere, and they're going to be contenders for a long time. And the Brooklyn Nets have James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie signed for the foreseeable future, so they're going to stay contenders. And Miami is a pretty young team, and Jimmy Butler still has a few more years on his contract, so they're still going to be a scary team going forward. So this season is actually a year where the Eastern Conference is going to be looking weak compared to others in the future. I think there is a chance that it turns similar to the Western Conference, where there's a bunch of contenders throughout. I think soon the Eastern Conference will just get like that. So if I'm Philadelphia, I'm trying to win the championship this year because in the future, it's going to be way more tougher. But to conclude the video, I honestly still think Philadelphia will be title contenders going into the future. I just think it will be significantly more difficult than it will be this year. And I also think that all the odds are in their favor. Literally everything is going right in their direction. And it honestly looks like Philadelphia will have their best run in the last 3 years. And even if they don't make it to the conference finals, that will be the biggest disappointment of the whole season. And if they could just make the NBA finals, then I would consider it a huge W. Or if they could give the Brooklyn Nets a good fight or the Milwaukee Bucks a good fight, because they weren't seen as legitimate NBA title contenders going into this year. And if they could get really close or actually win it, it would be a huge W. All I need to see them do is make the conference finals and be really, really close. If they lose, or just win it. This was far from a Philadelphia hate video. I just kind of realized how easy their path was to the NBA Conference Finals and how much things have gone in favor for them this season. So I think right now is their best chance to win the NBA championship. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I said in this video. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content. And tell me it's my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video, start a conversation with me, as I actually do respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.